Hello everybody, what's up, what's going on, and welcome to the 35th episode of Raptors in 1. So guys, it's a beautiful day, the sun's out, and this is a special day for me, as well as all the other Muslim brothers and sisters around the world. Ramadan Kareem, Ramadan Mubarak to all of my Muslim brothers and sisters around the world. May Allah forgive our sins and accept our fast and our prayers and bless us throughout this month of Ramadan. Alright, so, now we're coming back to the business of the Raptors. So, how are the Raptors doing? We got another 5-game winning streak. Another 5! Oh my goodness. Is this team on fire or what? Yeah, that's right. This team is doing crazy. They're beating some quality opponents. Now, I've already covered a few games in this 5-game winning streak, but I want to talk about, real quick, the game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, man, I when I'm going to say this, I really don't feel like I'm a fan. I thought this was going to be an L. I really did. And I am so glad I'm wrong. I am so glad I'm wrong because we did it. We beat them, and we beat them convincingly. Oh, yeah. If you haven't watched this game, I suggest to even just watch the highlights, because this game, the way we started, the first quarter, we were down. We did not have a good start to this quarter. And at one point, we were even down by 17. But when we came back, boy, did we come back. And then we never looked back. Oh, man. We killed it. I mean, our starters were good. Our bench was good. We shot, 50% from the three-point range for the game. 50%! We shot the lights out. Now, speaking of lights out, I gotta say, Gary Trent, he's back, and he was hot. He dropped 29 points on the Minnesota Timberwolves. So he's good. He was good, man. We will definitely need his scoring prowess come playoff time. That is right, ladies and gents. If you haven't been listening, if you haven't been watching my content, you go ahead, subscribe to my channel, because I have mentioned this in my videos already. I was already prepping for the playoffs from day one. Now, mind you, I was thinking more along the lines of play-in tournament, and I think it is very clear to say if things are to go really south in these last 5 games, we're gonna at least get away with the 6th seed here. Very possible, a very strong possibility, and that is great. So, and then OG, he dropped 22 points. He dropped a cool 22 points, and OG seems like he's starting to get back in his groove after that hip point injury. That's great. We need that from him, and he's catching on fire at the right time. Everything is starting to fall into place like dominoes. Dominoes! Pascal had a struggling night, like he was struggling on the offensive end, but this is what I was talking about. This is his evolution to the next phase. This is what I was alluding to in my previous episodes. If you haven't subscribed yet, come on, man. I am giving you guys wisdom here. And you know what? It seems like Pascal is listening, at the very least, because he has stepped his game up. He has stepped up his IQ, he's stepped up his assists, his passing, he's stepped up his defense. Those were the 3 things I had mentioned. Passing for sure. I said, you know what? Passing was definitely one. 3-pointers. Being consistent at that. He's getting there. He's not there yet. But, just to put it in perspective, he's gotten his 2nd career triple-double. He scored 12 points, but he dropped 13 dimes, 13 assists, and 10 boards. Okay? And of course, his defense was what kept him on the floor. Man played 40 minutes. And if you're going to score 12 points and on some very horrible shooting percentage, but you still stay on the floor, it's because you're doing everything else right. You're getting everybody else involved. How do you think Gary Trent got his 29? How did OG get his 22? How did Scotty Barnes, Rookie of the Year? I've been calling that since day one. Since day one. His only real competition for Rookie of the Year, I don't care. I'm sorry, Cade Cunningham. He's great. He's nice. He's turned it around recently. But we're talking about the whole season. We're not talking about just recently. His real competition would be Evan Mobley. Yeah. That's his real competition. And I feel like he might get the edge just because his team, the Raptors, we're actually on a upward trajectory as of late. And we've even bumped the Cleveland Cavaliers off the 6th spot. So, I'm saying Scotty Barnes, Rookie of the Year, baby. Even Scotty Barnes got 17 points. A quiet 17 points. Nobody saw that. Nobody noticed that because, wow, it's all about Gary Trent. You know, he scored in 29. OG's going crazy, 22. Pascal struggling. But our Rookie of the Year quietly gets 17 points. That is scary. That is scary, my friends. For the opposing teams, of course. But for us, it's a good thing. He's on the right path. Freddie, even he was kind of struggling offensively, but he was making some clutch shots. And this is why he is now the proper... And I'm struggling to say this because I have mad love for Kyle Lowry, mad respect for Kyle Lowry, but I feel like he's filled in his shoes in only one season, and that's the scary part of this. In only one season, he's filled Kyle Lowry's shoes, and he is the floor general. I respect it. He is the floor general. You know, he makes the clutch shots. He's kind of doing his, Chauncey Billups impersonation there, Mr. Big Shot, coming up with the big shots in the clutch moments, and of course, running the offense, doing the defense. Man's a thief. He's got 5 steals. 5 steals in that game. That was just crazy. Now, yes, Minnesota fans, I know, and I feel sorry for you, but really I'm not, because I know your team was playing for a spot in the playoffs, possibly, maybe even fighting to stay in the play-in tournament. I get it, but you know what? We needed this much more, so, that's just the nature of how this league goes. Even the bench was pretty good. Thad Young, again, he's stepping up. I told you guys, give the man some time. He just came into the organization. I did say that in the previous episodes. There was a lot of criticism, and I was listening to the broadcast for some of these beat writers and some of these articles that I was reading to, and I'm like, man, are you kidding me? The man just came. It's not even 2 weeks and you're already criticizing the trade? You're already criticizing this? Come on. He's a veteran, but he's got to learn the system. He's been playing in a different system, but now he gets it. Now he knows his role. He gets it. He's a veteran. He picked it up. He picked it up just in the right time. Playoffs is going to be in another 2 weeks. We'll be all right. And of course, he's smart. He's a veteran. He knows. He's seen everything. So, and of course, why do you think our bench is finally starting to come around? Our bench was the biggest problem for us, which is why the starters were logging in heavy minutes. Now, all of a sudden, our starters, if you notice the minutes, apart from Pascal, everybody else has been 30 minutes, 32, 35 minutes. Freddie's been playing less than 35 minutes now. Right? Now, mind you, yes, it's to manage his injury, but, again, it's because the bench is starting to step up. And the bench is stepping up because of Thad Young. Because of what he's doing for the bench. What he's doing while he's sitting on the bench. He's sitting there, but he's not sitting there doing nothing. He's discussing. He's talking to the other bench players. He's showing them. He's encouraging them. All these little things that you don't see on a stat sheet is what he was brought in for. To boost the bench. And now, of course, he's also filling up the stat sheet now. Yeah, he only scored 10 points, but that's all we needed from him. He made the plays, he made the veteran plays, defensive reads, and the rebounding, stretching the floor, that's what we need. And that's exactly what he did. Precious, man, I think I mentioned this 2-3 videos ago, but Precious is shooting threes now. And you know what? Thank you very much, League. Go ahead. Give him the shot. You know what? Don't respect his 3-point shooting. Go ahead. See what happens. Of course, he's going to drop 3-pointers on you. you know, it was. I had seen like a post game interview. One of the interviewers was asking Nick that, hey, could you care to comment on Precious's recent shooting and how it has improved and what happened there? Like, how did it improve so drastically? And it's just like I was thinking, just like I had even speculated in my previous videos. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm on the same wavelength, same thought level as the coach, because even the coach said the same thing. Coach Nick Nurse, he was like, you know what? It was probably something psychological. Maybe he was playing beyond his means, and now that he's accepted his role, all those things I mentioned, guys, get in on this. Trust me. I'm not just, talking out of thin air here. I actually have somewhat of an idea of what I'm talking about. So anyway, coming back to Precious, he had a good game too. Defensively, offensively, he did exactly what was required to get the win, and we got the W. Final score being 125 for the Raptors and 102 for Minnesota. So the next game we played against the Orlando Magic. And let me tell you guys, I had already chalked that as a W. Yes, we got the W. But let me remind you that this could go either way. It's not a guarantee. Nothing in the NBA, especially when it comes to wins, is a guarantee. It is not. Crazy things happen, especially around the playoffs time, when you have teams that they know that they're already in the playoffs, and then there are teams that have been bumped out. Those are the teams you want to be careful when you play against. You want to play up to your level. Play your game. Don't play any other game. Just play your game and you will get that W. You have to be careful. Case in point, if you don't believe me, check the Philadelphia 76ers versus Detroit game. Detroit's a bottom feeder team. Yeah, sure. But, Detroit and Dwayne Casey, they get into our minds and they have beaten us more games than we've won. I don't think we've even won one game against the Detroit Pistons ever since Dwayne Casey has been their head coach. Yeah, it's a mind thing. But, come on, Philly. Joel Embiid, he scored like 30-some points. So 35 points and grabbed 16 boards, something like that from what I can remember. But, come on. And they still lost. They lost to Detroit Pistons. It's a bottom feeder team. This is what I'm talking about. You got to be very careful when you're playing against a team that's already out of the playoffs, has nothing to prove, but nothing to lose. It's the nothing to lose that you got to be worried about. Coming back to the Orlando game, we took care of business. We beat the Orlando Magic. Final score for the Raptors, 102, and for the Orlando Magic, 89. That's a convincing win. And you know what? That puts things into perspective. And especially when you compare that game, when we play another bottom feeder team, and then a team like Sixers that are kind of in a all or nothing mode right now. The fact that they picked up James Harden kind of dictates that. They gave up a lot for James. Yes, it kind of helped that, they offloaded Ben Simmons. That was a big for them. And at the same time, picking up James, it's still saying that, it's an all or nothing. We got to go all in here. And they lost to a team like Detroit. That's a bottom feeder team. That's one of the worst records in the league right now. So that's what I'm trying to say. We took care of business. We beat the Orlando Magic. And it was a balanced effort. I believe we had 5 players who scored in double digits. Or maybe 6 or 7. Yeah, I stand corrected. We had 6 players score in double digits. And it was a balanced effort. It was a good game. It was exactly Raptors ball, And of course, Scotty Barnes, he had himself a game because he came back home to his native home in Orlando. And he put on a show. His stat line was crazy. He had 19 points, 7 assists, 8 boards. Those are Rookie of the Year stats if you ask me. That's right. I'm making a case for Scotty Barnes. He's getting Rookie of the Year, that's for sure. All the starters scored in double digits, and Precious also scored in double digits. And you know what? Precious has been on a tear as of late. His shooting percentage has been great. He's actually dropping threes. He's defending well. He's making the right reads. You know, it seems like he wants this success. He wants this to work out. He wants to raise his stock, and he will. If he continues on this path, barring injuries, he is going to be something special. Overall, it was a great game. And that obviously, we're back into our 5-game win streak, and I was really hoping that Chicago would have lost their game because we had a crack at the 5th seed. But Chicago and DeMar DeRozan, much love and respect for him. He definitely came in the clutch for his team, scored 50 points, and made sure that they kept up the record to hang on to that 5th seed. The way the standings are looking like, if we were to be in the 6th seed, we're facing the Celtics. And the Celtics, I gotta say, it's a tough matchup compared to Philly right now. I would still not take Philly lightly, especially because James Harden can anytime at any point turn it around. And, Joel Embiid, he's obviously been a matchup nightmare for us. And if Tobias Harris figures out what's going on wrong, Tyrese Maxey, he's obviously going on a tear. Yeah, that could be a tough matchup in itself. But if I had a choice, yes, Raptors fans, just like you, I would also pick Philly over Boston, especially in the first round. I really hope that the Raptors can continue the streak on, but Sunday, we got a tough game. We got the Miami Heat, number 1 in the conference, and we got our boy, our greatest Raptor of all time, coming home, Mr. Kyle Lowry, K-Lo 7. Yeah, welcome home, man. Welcome home. Much love, much respect, but we want this W. We want this W because we want to be in the 5th seed. We would rather play Philly as opposed to in Boston. But, with you on the floor for the Miami Heat, it's going to be a different dynamic, especially against our team. You know our tendencies. You know our plays. You know everything about the Raptors. Save maybe Scotty Barnes, but that's something that you could easily check the tapes on him. Lowry is going to be a very tough matchup. This game against the Heat is truly going to define where the Raptors are. It is time. If you want to make a statement before the playoffs, this is that game. That is all I got, folks. If you like the content, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Put your comments in. Let me know what you guys think of the Raptors as of late, or anything Raptors basketball related. It's all good. I love basketball talk anyway. And of course, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other content. And until next time, the next game I'm probably going to cover is going to be the Miami Heat game. I know it's going to be an emotional one. Until then, I'm out.